I'm Chanel Jones, and I'm at the Super Lot, downtown Kansas City, getting ready to interview Dan Jackson. So Dan, what is Team XMX?
Team XMX is a stunt team I had created back in early 2000. Check us out, teamxmx.com. We're traveling the whole country, all over, pretty much every weekend out of the year, do over 42 events, always out on the road performing. So it's just a stunt team I created back in 2000, and now me and my teammates just grown into performing shows every weekend.
And what is it like being out on the road for 40 shows and being away from your family and friends?
It's a lot of hard work. You know, we're out on the road all the time, living kind of like the life of a gypsy, and you know, we're spending relentless hours driving straight through, sometimes 26 hours to LA, 20 hours to Orlando. You know, we just a lot of time on the road, but I know to be out on the road doing something I love, I can't complain.
And what is the hardest thing about stunting and about the whole experience?
The hardest thing about stunt riding is just getting your name out there and getting exposure. So right now it was an underground sport. You know, I'm kind of an OG of the sport, helped evolve this sport from day one. So, you know, I'm kind of a leader. A lot of people look up to me as my riding and just things I do. So as long as I'm out there being a positive role model and just putting out a good image for sport bike freestyle, I'm happy and I can put my head down at night.
How long have you been a fan of motocross?
For about probably about 5 years. My cousin started with motocross, and then I met Dan Jackson and started getting into 50 stunt riding and stuff. So I bought my own 50, and I'm trying to learn how to stunt right now. So
How often do you practice?
I practice almost every day whenever it's warm, especially. All I have is my backyard, so we're working on wheelies right now and just overall steering and riding.
So do you have any broken bones yet, or any scrapes or bruises?
Luckily, no broken bones, a couple scrapes and bruises, you know, busted up knee, but that's it, so we're good.
Can you tell me a little bit about the sponsorships and how hard it is to obtain sponsors, and a little bit about your sponsor?
Yeah, obtaining sponsors, you know, went from the sport basically evolved from, as most people think and relate it to, is sport bikes riding wheelies on the highway and doing it in dangerous areas. Back in 2000, we took that and turned it into a controlled environment, and at that time it was XSBA, and basically evolved with the Formula USA Road Racing Series. So we started out piggyback riding on with Formula USA, and just evolved into a national point series. Now it's called xdlshow.com. You can check it out there. You can see all my past achievements and championship wins. I got 4 championships since 2003. So, you know, just trying to keep the ball rolling and just take this sport to hopefully an X Games level type sport.
And where do you see the future of Team XMX? Where do you see it going?
I'm just trying to push my ideal view of trying to see the Team XMX growing into just like a national semi-truck, you know, Team Lowe's, or, you know, something big time, like a, I don't know, Team Makita Suzuki. Maybe it'll be a Team XMX Honda, Team XMX Kawasaki. I don't know. Try to get big factory sponsorships to where when you see the Team XMX rig going down the road, you just see that with one of the big manufacturers and motorcycles, and hopefully by that time I'll be out on the road and just be a positive role model and out either promoting that motorcycle brand or just promoting myself as a rider, or what other riders that tend to follow and ride under my team.
When did you get your first bike, or when did you start riding?
I started riding when I was 10 years old. When I got my first dirt bike. So I grew up racing dirt bikes. I, you know, spent a lot of time racing every weekend throughout the Midwest and all over the country. Did, you know, Ponca City, Loretta Lynn's, did a bunch of amateur nationals. And by the time I was 20 years old, I got my first sport bike, and that's kind of where my stunt riding career began.
And do you have any word of advice for a kid growing up that would want to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, big word of advice is to get your schooling, get your grades, listen to your parents. You know, without my parents, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so, you know, get your grades, get on the honor roll. You know, if I was a father and I had my kids getting good grades, you know, I'd be going out and buying them bikes just to keep them, keeping them out of trouble. So that's kind of the life I lived, and here I am today, pretty successful at what I'm doing. So just, I'd say, get your schooling.
Check out Dan on teamxmx.com. For Monster TV, I'm Chanel Jones.